Hey, what's up guys? Will Gove here for GSM Arena, and welcome to our head-to-head series. Today we're going to compare the new iPhone 17 Pro Max against last year's 16 Pro Max. The 17 Pro Max brings plenty of updates over the previous model, but the 16 Pro Max is nearly as good and still quite relevant. So let's compare our review findings head-to-head and see which of these two Apple flagships is right for you. As always, you can find links to our extensive full reviews down below. This year, Apple has given its top model a design overhaul, and the 17 Pro Max looks quite different from previous iPhones. Meanwhile, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has the clean, classic look we've seen for the past few generations. While the two phones weigh about the same, they're made of different materials. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is made of glass, with a titanium frame. The new model has instead an aluminum unibody, with glass cutouts on the back to enable wireless charging. It's more busy looking. Apple claims that they switched to aluminum because it's lighter and better for dispersing heat than titanium. But some people have reported issues with the aluminum getting scuffed, especially around the camera island. You get the same ingress protection on both devices. They're IP68 rated against dust and water submersion to a depth of 6 meters. These two phones have almost the same display specs. They're both 6.9-inch OLED panels with a high resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. However, the new iPhone is protected by the new ceramic shield glass too, and it has an anti-reflective coating. That means less reflections and glare compared to last year. Apple has tweaked the brightness behavior of its new iPhones. In our test routine, we measured much higher max brightness from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But outside of that, we saw equally high brightness from the new model in smaller areas of the display, and the sunlight legibility is still quite good. And in general, both of these displays perform great. They're just as sharp, support the same HDR standards, and have extra adaptive refresh rates thanks to LTPO tech. Both phones have a pair of stereo speakers for audio. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is a bit louder, with a loudness rating of very good versus good on the new model. The 17 Pro Max also has toned down mids. Let's have a listen to compare.
I should just let them all go when life seems impossible. Look from and go change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable.
For storage, you can get either phone with 256 gigs, 512 gigs, or a terabyte on board, but the 17 Pro Max also has a higher 2 terabyte storage tier. You get the same software on both of these phones. It's Apple's latest iOS 26, which brings the new liquid glass design language. Many elements are rounded and partially transparent, with brightened outlines and borders. We have an in-depth video about iOS 26 if you'd like to find out more about it. Both of these iPhones will get at least 5 years of software support from Apple, but the new model is a year fresher within this cycle. The newest iPhone gets the newest chipset. It's called the Apple A19 Pro, and it promises better raw performance. Plus, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has more RAM at 12 gigs. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has 8 gigs of RAM on board, and is running on the previous top chipset, the Apple A18 Pro. As a result, the new iPhone outperforms the old one in benchmarks, with the largest difference seen in graphics-related tests. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max is indeed more powerful, as expected. Still, the previous model is no slouch, and should be plenty for your needs. When it comes to sustained performance, both phones did well in our prolonged stress tests. The new model was able to maintain higher performance numbers though, at least when it comes to the CPU. The iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in two variants, an eSIM-only one which has a larger battery, and one with a physical SIM which has a smaller battery capacity. Ours has the physical SIM, but still its battery is a bit larger than the one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. As a result, the new model's battery life is slightly better. The margin isn't big though, and you get great battery life on either phone. The charging on the 17 Pro Max is considerably faster though. It was able to go from 0 to 65% in half an hour, versus less than 50% on the 16 Pro Max. And a full charge was a whopping 45 minutes faster on the new model. Both phones have support for reverse wired charging and Qi 2 wireless charging as well. And now we have the cameras. On the back, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has a 48-megapixel main and ultrawide camera, as well as a new 48-megapixel 4x telephoto zoom. The iPhone 16 Pro Max shares the same main and ultra-wide cam, but its zoom camera is a 5x1 at 12 megapixels. There isn't a huge difference when you're comparing daylight photos taken with these phones' main cameras. The most noticeable is that the 17 Pro Max is a bit more expressive with colors and contrast. But at 2x digital zoom, the 17 Pro Max shows a meaningful improvement in sharpness over the previous generation. In the dark, both phones' main cameras will get you similarly great photos. But at 2x zoom, again the 17 Pro Max does a noticeably better job. The new telephoto zoom camera isn't necessarily an improvement over that of the 16 Pro Max. They're about neck and neck when it comes to quality. And at night, the 17 Pro Max's zoom doesn't outclass the previous generation. In fact, the 16 Pro Max's results might even be a little better. Apple promises 8x lossless zoom out of the new zoom camera, but you really have to pixel peep to see any difference from the 16 Pro Max's 8x digital zoom. And at night, there's absolutely no benefit provided by the 17 Pro Max's larger telephoto sensor at 8x zoom. Ultra-wide camera comparisons reveal little improvement. We can't spot a meaningful advantage in detail from the new model, and things look about the same. And in low light, again there isn't any significant difference between the two generations. Both phones produce average-looking images. This year's selfie cam has seen an update. It has a uniquely shaped 18-megapixel sensor. This new multi-aspect sensor has a special ability. It can capture a 4x3 selfie in either portrait or landscape orientation, with no need to rotate the phone. The ability to take a landscape selfie while holding the phone vertically is a clear advantage for the 17 Pro Max, and it has a wider lens so you can fit more into the frame. Otherwise, the quality is similar between the two phones. And here's a look at 4K selfie videos, taken with either phone. Both iPhones have the same video recording capabilities, except that the new model can also shoot in ProRes RAW and Apple Log 2 modes. During the day, 4K videos are barely distinguishable between the two phones when it comes to detail, and that's regardless of the camera. There are some differences in color reproduction, but they're very subtle. There is more of a difference when comparing the 4K videos taken at night. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has the advantage in sharpness across the board, though the differences are most noticeable with the main camera and the ultra-wide. So that's the iPhone 17 Pro Max versus the iPhone 16 Pro Max. These aren't so different beneath the surface. They're iPhones of about the same size and weight, with similar displays and the same software experience. The battery life is not so different, and for many use cases, you get the same quality from the cameras. However, the new model has the new aluminum design and anti-reflective glass on the screen. It has the more powerful chipset and more RAM. There's the option for 2 terabytes of storage. The charging is faster. The cameras are improved when it comes to 2x zoom, selfies, and low-light video. And you get ProRes RAW and Apple Log 2 video recording. The iPhone 16 Pro Max brings the traditional design language, if you prefer that. The phone has louder speakers, and overall it can provide nearly the same user experience as the new model, at a lower price. In the end, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has its benefits, and it would make sense to go that route for the latest and greatest iPhone. But the iPhone 16 Pro Max is still quite a solid choice that you might even prefer, and it can save you a bit of cash. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.